Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Adam. This is my channel, Adam Sews, and today is Quiltcon edition. So we are currently getting it now. Driverless taxi to go to Quiltcon day one. As many of you know, I was very lucky and my husband booked us a trip to Phoenix to attend Quiltcon Phoenix. We flew out on the Tuesday and came back and landed on the Monday lunchtime. The flight out was questionable. We were quite uncomfortable on the flight out. I don't know why, because the flight back we were a lot more comfortable and we managed to sleep for a good chunk of it. Whereas on the way out, for the 9.5-hour flight, we slept for probably about 20 minutes. And that was broken sleep. It wasn't even good sleep. So that was all well and good, but what you probably all want to know is what I got up to at Quiltcon. So I'm going to go through what happened at Quiltcon, and then I'm going to go through what we did in Phoenix afterwards. So Quiltcon, we attended on the Thursday and the Saturday. The Friday we took a day off Quiltcon and did some other things which we'll talk about in a little while. So Thursday we arrived quite early. I think we got there for about 9:15. We checked in, got all of our passes and everything sorted after speaking to Josh from Lifting and Stitching, and he very kindly ushered us in the right direction of where we were supposed to go. We had a walk around all of the stands first of all. Straight away bumped into people that we knew. I got to meet up with Michelle from Eliso, who is a very dear friend of mine and is one of the nicest people that I've ever met in my whole entire life. She is coming over for Festival of Quilts again this year, which I'm really excited about. There's some really exciting plans for Eliso at Festival. So if you are attending Festival, keep your eyes peeled for what Eliso is doing there, because it is very exciting. Michelle is also going to be doing a little bit of a tour of the UK when she comes over in August. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll be able to spend some time with her outside of Festival as well, because she would like to visit Jane Austen's house, which is very close to where I live. And she wants to do some of the Jane Austen country sort of tour and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to help her out a little bit with that. I'm going to try and insert photos throughout the vlog of the people that I met. So I got to spend some time with Jess from Sally Tomato. She was very kind and allowed me to pick some things from the Sally Tomato stand. So I ended up getting some more of my favourite colour Tulip Pink zipper and the zip pulls. I got some of the Moonflower tape, which is this beautiful sort of soft aubergine purple kind of colour, again with some other pulls. And I managed to also get some of the oversized Tulip Pink zipper pulls, which I'm super excited to get some of these into some of my makes. These are going to be put to one side for the moment though, until I start working on my next Circle of Makers tour. So that was the first person that I bumped into, which was Jess from Sally Tomato. She is one of the kindest people I've ever met, and just as lovely in real life as she is through Instagram and all of the other ways that I've spoken to her previously. Her mum was there as well, and her brother, equally, both absolutely lovely people. So that was super exciting to be able to meet those. Hopefully I would have put in a picture of Michelle from Elisa already. I think I did manage to get a picture with her. If I didn't, then that's why it's not there. The second major sort of person that I got to meet was Chelsea from Pink Door Fabrics. Again, such a nice lady, super excited to meet her. Was having a really good chat about some different things, and I was able to show her my acorn bag that I made using the new Renaissance ribbons that's coming out with the next Tula line, and my place for everything as well, and was showing her some of the ways that I'd use some of the ribbon to create patches and different things as well, which was super cool. She was very kind, and she gifted me the new Measure Twice tapes to play around with on some bags that I've got in the works at the moment. So I'm super excited to get to use these. If you haven't seen these, they are two-sided ribbons because they are two-tone colours. So all of the Renaissance ribbons, bar a couple, if they are two-coloured threads, you can actually use them as a reversible. So even though there's 12 different colours, you actually get 24 different colourways because you can reverse them and use the opposite side of them as well. So this black one here with the silver, if you switch it over, you get silver with black numbers, which is super cool. And the same with all the others, basically. So while I was at Renaissance as well, I managed to bag some of the limited edition sewing machine patches, which will be going into my store for anyone that wants one of those. I have a very limited amount of these, as there is a very limited amount of them in the world. And I think I may be the only person in the UK that has these. So if you would like one, they will be in my store very shortly, if not at the same time that this vlog goes out. I'm also on the conversation, whatever, of what's going in my store. I have just also, while I was away, had a delivery of some of the newer Tula hardware. So I've got one of the 2.5 by 6 inch by 6.5 inch rulers left, which is the one with the mouse on it. I've also had a restock of Tula Pink hardware unicorn head pins. So if you are after some of those, or have been waiting for some of those to come back into stock, there is a limited amount of those going into the store as well. And I think that's it for what's going into the store for now. There will be some bag drops over the next couple of weeks, so if you're after anything like that, keep your eyes peeled as well. I also, from when I was at Pink Door, I went into the, when I was speaking to Chelsea at Renaissance, I went into Pink Door and bagged myself a yard of tall towels, because they had some out of print there, and it is nigh impossible to get in the UK. And I wanted to top up my stash a little bit, so I managed to get some of that, which was super exciting. I also, from Eliso, the lovely Michelle gifted me one of the raspberry mini iron cases, which will fit my Tula Pink mini iron, which is great for when I go to retreats. So I am going to play around with this and put some applique and different things on the felt, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm also going to try and get some of the owl ribbon from Full Moon Forest on there, because I think it'll look really pretty. What else did I get? I also got some of the pretty pins from Laurie Holt, which are the tiny little applique pins, which is what I have in my magnetic pincushion. These are one of my favourite little pins to use when I am dressmaking, because they're nice and short and they're super sharp, so they don't stick out so far, so you don't prick yourself as many times when you're putting a shirt collar in and stuff like that. So those are my go-to for dressmaking, but my go-to for quilting is these, because they are beautiful. They're also really good for loading onto the long arm these, because they're really nice and long. I only bought one pattern, which is this pattern here, which is called Pollen, which is by Mad Bees Quilt and Sew. It's scrap friendly, and it's got these really fun machine applique circles on, and sort of like orange segments. There was one of these hanging up at the stand, and I don't think I've got a photo of it, but it's a really cool pattern, so I'm really excited to make that up at some point. Hopefully I'm going to pull out some really interesting scraps and put them on the new white on whites that are coming in Full Moon Forest. So I'm hoping to use the owls, the white on white owl, for the background, and then use some of my Full Moon Forest scraps and different things when Full Moon Forest arrives. I managed to pick up lots and lots of stickers. I will take a photo of them and put them in here, because there's too many to hold up. I'll be here forever. I got some other bits. So the last thing I got from Quiltcon was 2 meters of Spider Blossom, because I cannot get this in the UK. Again, it's one of those ones that went out of print and everyone bought every single square inch of it that was left in stores in the UK. So when I saw that, I was like, yep, I definitely need to get some. So that was pretty much all I bought and was gifted at Quiltcon, which I'm very grateful for. I met some fantastic people though. So as I mentioned earlier, I managed to meet Josh from Lifting and Stitching. I'll pop a photo in here. I met Chelsea from Pink Door Fabrics and Renaissance Ribbons, as I said earlier. Michelle from Eliso. Jess from Sally Tomato. I also met, I can't remember her name now. I can't think of it. And it's the other lady that works with Jess from Sally Tomato. I didn't get a photo with her because I only bumped into her when we was on escalators going in different directions on the way out of Quiltcon. So I met all of those on the first day. I also bumped into a couple of other people. I can't remember off the top of my head now because I met so many people. I will pop some photos in. Oh, Kate from QuiltwithmissKate I met as well, who is one of the nicest people I've ever met. I was super excited to meet her. I knew she was going to be there, and we'd already planned to scream at each other if we saw each other, which we pretty much did. So I'll put some photos in here. As you can see from some of them, we just howled at each other pretty much the whole time we were talking. We also got to meet Mr. Kate, who is also absolutely lovely. I don't think I got a photo with him though. And I got to meet Ian from the Off-Kilter Quilter, Off-Kilter Crafter. Can't remember. I will pop a photo in of him here. I also got to meet Becca, who is also really good friends with Ian, but I didn't manage to get a photo with Becca. She was super excited about being there and flitted off really quickly. I also got to meet Tiffany from Tiffany's Quilting Life. We actually managed to bump into each other a couple of times, and we spent some time together outside the convention centre on the Saturday evening as well, while I was waiting for some friends to go for dinner. So I'm trying to think of who else we met. I managed to meet Larry, who is sewing with Lawayne, I believe it is, his YouTube channel. I will pop it down below in the description box. I got to meet... I can't think off the top of my head now. I met so many people. I'm just going to keep adding photos in here of everyone that I met, and hopefully it won't trigger my memory because they'll go in after the vlog. Yeah, so that was most of what we did on the Thursday. So the Wednesday that we arrived... we went to, we arrived on the Tuesday evening, and we'd been awake for probably about 18 or 19 hours by that point. So we did stay up until what was the equivalent of 11 p.m. at night, which worked out to be nearly 5 a.m. here. So by the time we actually went to bed, it was like 23 hours since we'd been asleep, which meant that we actually managed to get a decent 8 hours sleep, wake up and felt like we were in the right time zone. So the jet lag didn't actually set in when we got there, which was really good. So it meant that on the Wednesday morning, we were able to get up, get into a Waymo, which I'm just going to sidebar on this one. So Phoenix is one of the first states in America to get Waymo, and Waymo is autonomous taxis. So there's no driver whatsoever. I'm going to insert some footage here of us getting into the Waymo. So it is night 2 in Phoenix. We are currently waiting for a driverless taxi, are we not?
We are.
Because Darren wanted to test it out to see how good it is, and I'm slightly terrified that it might take off and take us back to England.
Here she comes.
Here it comes round the corner. Here it is. No one driving it.
Is the same as always, so keep your seatbelt fastened, please. If you're traveling with little ones or expecting, please see the seatback card for more information. We'll do all the driving, so please don't touch the steering wheel or pedals during your ride. We may use interior cameras to check on riders, improve our product, and more. But our microphones are only on when you're connected to rider support. So sing your heart out. We can't hear you. You can also use the app or passenger screen to speak to a rider support agent at any time. In the rare case of an emergency, please keep your...
So, as you can see, you get in, it says hello to you, you press a little button on the screen in there. It's got like an iPad that allows you to control the music, the temperature and everything else. And you basically tell it to start the drive, and then it takes you to wherever you've booked in the app when you book it. It was slightly terrifying for about the first 3 or 4 minutes, and then you realise that the driver of, well, the autonomous driver is probably one of the best drivers of a taxi that you've ever been in, which is quite funny. And the technology behind it is absolutely insane. It literally, it doesn't hesitate at junctions. It actually stops at stop signs, pulls its way out, and actually almost sort of looks around like it is checking everything, and then it pulls out exactly when it's safe to do so. It is the most bizarre thing ever. So we ended up using Waymo the whole time we were there for any time that we went out in a taxi. I think we took about 8 or 9 trips in the end. So that was really fun, and it was a new experience, and I wouldn't hesitate to get one again, which was good fun. So we got a Waymo. No, we didn't get a Waymo. So when we got there on the day that we arrived, we picked up a amazing Dodge Ram. And on the Wednesday, we went to the botanical gardens, which I will try and insert some footage of here if I took any. Hi everyone, so we are at the Desert Botanical Gardens in Phoenix. This is day 1 of our trip. We arrived last night, and yeah, I will catch up with you in a little while. And I'll also insert photos as I'm going along. So the gardens was absolutely incredible. We managed to bump into Lou from Lou Off Designs, and we bumped into the Crafting Nomad as well, which was really lovely to see them. We saw them briefly in the departure lounge at London Heathrow before we left, and they turned out that they were on the same flight, as well as Kim and Joe from What the Fabric. They were on our flight as well. And the funny thing was, on the flight on the way out, it was getting to a point where we were lagging, and we felt like we were just at that point of the flight where we just really needed a little pick-me-up. And bless Kim, she came round and gave us the little chocolate bars, which just seemed to perk us up enough to get through the rest of the flight, which was absolutely lovely of her. And I can't thank her enough for that, because we had got to a point where we thought, we can't do any more on this flight, because it was the longest flight that either of us have ever done. So we went to the botanical gardens, we had a look around, saw all the different cacti, and then just as we were walking around part of it, I will pop a bit of footage in here. We were walking towards this lady that was just stood very still, and we thought, what is that lady looking at? And then this happened, and we managed to see a hummingbird collecting spiderweb off of the cacti to build its nest, which was one of the most incredible things that we've ever seen. And then from then onwards, as we were walking around, we bumped into a few more hummingbirds that were collecting nectar and different things from some of the desert flowers that were there. So I will try and insert a photo as well. I've also got a video of one of the hummingbirds collecting nectar. So that was absolutely incredible. We've never ever seen a hummingbird in real life. They are the tiniest, most beautiful things I've ever seen. So that was super exciting to be able to see that. We also saw roadrunners, which was hilarious, because I didn't actually sort of register in my head that they are actually based on a real animal. The other thing as well that we saw was the quails that have got this feather that comes out of their head here, which looks like some sort of like 1950s Grease Lightning hairdo, which was brilliant. So yeah, we did the botanical gardens. We left the botanical gardens around lunchtime, and then we went on to SAS Fabrics, which was recommended to me by the lovely Laura, whose caddy is sat here and it's being shipped today. She recommended SAS Fabrics because they sell discounted fabrics from all different designers like Riley Blake, Tudor Pink, various different people. Alexander Henry, they had quite a lot of as well. So we went into there and had a good look around, and I managed to bag some of the Mick Jaguar from Daydreamer, and in the opposite colourway as well. I was a little bit sad that they didn't have the rainbow on the white background, but that one sold out really quick, so I wasn't surprised that they didn't have it. I also managed to get some of the Bernatex's Benina blender fabric, which goes alongside the Bernatex's Benina sewing machine fabric, and I managed to get some of this white colourway as well, with the grey on there, which some of this is going to my lovely friend Mandy from Make It Sew. So we went into SAS Fabrics, did a bit of mooching around there. I popped some photos in. I took some photos while I was in there. There was one photo that my husband took when I found the Tula, which my face just sums it all up, basically. So we went back outside after going into SAS Fabrics to get into our Dodge pickup truck. Right, so we have arrived at SAS Fabrics. This was recommended to me by a lovely subscriber, Laura. So we've just parked up the enormous truck and we are heading on into SAS Fabrics, which is just here behind me. And I have been advised that they have old stock tulle for $4.99 a yard. So let's go and have a look. That we rented and it wouldn't start, which was quite funny. It just wouldn't register that the key was there at all. So we sort of hung around for a little while and called the rental company, who were absolutely brilliant. So I can't thank Alamo enough. They basically said if they'd within seconds arranged for a recovery truck and an Uber to get us back to the rental place so that we could pick up a different vehicle. And then all of a sudden, we heard the truck make some sort of like electrical clicking noises and it registered the key and we were able to start it. So we called them back, cancelled the recovery, took the truck back to the airport collection area where we got it from, which was only about a 15-minute drive, which was really handy. And we dropped it off. They took it away to obviously have it looked at and get fixed. And they basically said to us, just go and have a look through the car park. And pick whichever truck you want to replace it with, which was brilliant of them. So we ended up picking up a Chevrolet Silverado instead, which was such a lovely vehicle to drive. We were very, very lucky to be able to lease something like that for the time that we were there. It gave us that whole real American experience, which was brilliant, which we also did have. I'll try and, if I've got footage of it, I'll try and pop it in here. One of the evenings that we were there, we were like, we need to just go and do an American drive-through. So we went to Taco Bell, got some tacos, sat in the truck listening to country music, eating our tacos, and it was just such a fun evening. I know that it's kind of like the McDonald's sort of food, but it was really, really nice. We really enjoyed it, and it was great fun sitting in the truck outside Taco Bell. We are sat in a Taco Bell car park, aren't we, Darren?
We are.
In our American pickup truck, eating tacos, listening to country music. The lovely warm evening weather. So yeah, we had great fun doing that. So that was the Tuesday and the Wednesday. The Thursday, we then went to Quiltcon, which I spoke about earlier. The Friday, we then got up, and we were going to go to Quiltcon on the Friday, but I knew that there was a couple of people going on the Saturday that I wanted to see, so we decided to swap our plans for Friday and Saturday. And the Friday, we went to... Oh, I'm just trying to think now. Where did we go on the Friday? So I've just remembered where we went. Friday, we got up really early, and we set off and got ourselves a breakfast from Joe's Diner, which was absolutely amazing. The pancakes were unreal, which the lady, the lovely waitress, server, however you want to call her, she recommended the pancakes. So we had bacon, eggs, pancakes, seasoned potatoes, and biscuits and gravy as well, for our breakfast. And then we headed off to a abandoned gold mine, which is called Goldfield Gold Mine, which is a Wild West gold mine it was abandoned only after 4 years of it opening because the gold ran out and the gold mine flooded, so they weren't able to mine for any more because they hit an aqueduct or something when they were mining. If you haven't been there, it is absolutely superb. You can walk around the whole town free of charge, and then you can obviously pay to do the gold mine tour, which we did, which was absolutely brilliant. Good morning, everyone. It is day 4 of our trip. We did Quiltcon yesterday, and we are currently on our way to a abandoned gold mine. Is it? Yeah. To have a look around. It's like a Wild West town. It looks like a movie set on the Google Images. So I will try and get some footage of us there, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. So we have arrived at Goldfield Station, and as you can see, there is a mountain and the station, and the train was behind us, and that's disappeared. So we walked around some of the shops there. We got to look at loads of different cacti. There was an absolutely enormous cacti in the middle of the main street of the abandoned town. And that one was like 250 years old or something. It was absolutely enormous and incredible to look at. We got talking with one of the ladies that worked in the sort of red light district of the town. And she was saying, she sort of recommended some places for us to go. So she said to us to head up to the Tortilla Flats and to a lake. I can't remember what the lake was called now, but it was on the way up to the Tortilla Flats. So we headed up there. I'll pop some photos and footage in here. As we were driving up, we went through a couple of one vehicle width bridges. I can't remember what they call them, which was brilliant because it was like one of the things that we wanted to see was some proper Americana sort of bridges. Here we are driving towards one of the single width bridges with a whole load of Jeep Wranglers that must have been on a day out trip together. Yeah, so here we go, crossing the bridge for the first time. One of the firsts for us, along with a lot of other firsts on this trip, and we are back over the other side. And stuff like that, and then when we were coming out of the end of the bridge, this huge Coca-Cola truck came towards us, so I videoed that as well, which was brilliant. So we went up to the lake and had a look around there. I'll put some photos in. Absolutely stunning lake. There was a load of boats on there as well. And then we went up to the Tortilla Flats and had some amazing pistachio ice cream. And Darren had cactus fruit ice cream, which was really nice. And then we headed back, and I think that was all we got done on that day. We also went up the Phoenix mountain hike at one point as well. I think that was on the Wednesday afternoon after we got back from SAS Fabrics, but it might have been a different day. I can't remember. We crammed so much in. So I'll pop some photos in of that here as well. That was absolutely stunning. The landscape is just breathtaking. It is just amazing. So that was where am I up to? I'm up to Friday. So Friday we went to, I can't remember where we went for dinner. We went out for dinner in a couple of different places. Oh, Friday we went to a rib shack, which was absolutely delicious. We went there in a Waymo as well, and I'll pop some footage in here of me being a bit of a fool and waving goodbye to the Waymo. Goodbye. That was really fun. We then got up on the Saturday morning and went back to Quiltcon. Managed to bump into Nicole from NicoleStichnup, which I'll pop a photo in here. I was so excited to meet her because we've spoken so many times. She's also on the Circle of Makers with me, working with Renaissance Ribbons as a Renaissance Ribbons ambassador. And she's also working with some other collections from Free Spirit at the moment as well. So if you don't know Nicole, please go and give her some love on Instagram and follow her on there. She is absolutely incredible bag maker. She makes bags to order as well, and she is just brilliant. She managed to drive down with her husband from Vegas. She lives outside of Vegas main sort of area. She lives in sort of like more of a suburb in Vegas. So they drove down for the day on the Saturday. So I was super excited to meet her, which worked out quite well, switching the Friday and the Saturday, because otherwise I wouldn't have got to meet her. So I was quite happy about that. And then after Quiltcon on the Saturday, we left at probably about 11:30 a.m. So we weren't there that long. We then went off to we went back to the Airbnb where we were staying, and we did a bit of sunbathing and just sort of lounging around the pool, which was really nice. And then we got ready and went out and did some... We went to Hobby Lobby, we went to Target, Walgreens, and a couple of other places that were on a big sort of retail park quite close to where we were staying. I managed to get myself a giant Stanley Cup, because who doesn't need a giant Stanley Cup? Because Hobby Lobby had them all on sale. We also grabbed some other bits and bobs in there, some sweets and candy and different things for souvenirs for different people. And we also went to Trader Joe's and got some of the mandarin segments that I wanted, because they are absolutely delicious and I wanted to bring some of those back, so I managed to get some of those. And then on the Saturday evening, we went out for dinner with some lovely friends of ours, which was all to do with something that's very exciting that's coming up in the near future, which I can't talk about at the moment, but I will let you know when I can. Then on the Sunday morning, we got up and packed all of our bags because we had to go to the airport on Sunday evening, which was very sad. What did we do on the Sunday? We went to Phoenix Zoo, which is where I got this awesome sweatshirt that I'm wearing. So we went to Phoenix Zoo. We got to look around at all the animals. I will try and pop in loads and loads of photos here that I took.
Let's see if we get the little sign.
Of all the different animals that we saw. We got to feed the giraffes, which was incredible. So I'll pop some photos of that in here. We got to feed them these little, they call them little cookies, but they're like little sort of nuggets of compressed fibrous material. So I guess they're sort of like haylage sort of type thing that you would feed ponies and horses as well. They have got the longest tongues. Their tongues are supposed to be something like between 7 and 24 inches or something ridiculous. And of course their tongues are bright blue. And I was really shocked as well at the fact that their tongues are quite rough, like cat tongues, which was bizarre. I thought they'd be really smooth. So yeah, we got to feed the giraffes, which was amazing. We got to see all the other animals, and then we left there, and we didn't really know what to do with ourselves then for the rest of the day, because we didn't have that much time after leaving the zoo to when we had to really head to the airport. So we went to a Starbucks locally and got a matcha iced tea latte, which was delicious and might be a new obsession for me. I think I might have to just have one of those at least once a week from now until when they take it off the menu. So yeah, that was pretty much all of the trip done. I've gone through pretty much everything that I brought home with me. I've got a load of stickers and different things that I need to put on my sewing machine, because I do like to pop all my stickers on the bed of my sewing machine. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to fill up that gap that I've got over there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I will catch up with you all again soon. I will see you on Friday for a Friday Sews. And if there's anything that I've forgotten, I will talk to you about it then. Thanks for watching, and ciao for now.